What's going on, guys? My name's Kyle, and today's a good day because you found the right video. Today we're talking about a dead simple, low budget Facebook ad strategy that is going to be able to give you what you need to be successful. Let's get started. All right, so one second. I gotta get this. It is like 90 degrees and humid. I just came from outside. It's super hot. Let me quench my thirst. But I don't want to waste a lot of time. I do want to announce that what I'm going to start to do in these videos is I'm going to be giving away a free, potentially winning product, because I know that's super hard for people. So if you're excited about that, subscribe, continue watching these videos, and I'm going to start to end the video with that winning product. In this video, I'm actually going to be giving it away in the beginning because I am using it as an example for this low budget Facebook ad strategy. So I'm super excited. I get a lot of questions about this, and I just want to get this video put together for you guys. So with that being said, let's get started. Let's not waste any time, and let's do it. All right, guys, here we are. Here's the product I'm going to market, and you might consider actually selling this. I haven't tried selling this. I saw this on, I believe, a Facebook ad. Basically what it is it's one of those memory lockets, so people put their photos of their kids in there, their loved ones in there, and it's kind of cool. I mean, you can really get some good margins at this. I think you could actually probably get it cheaper if you went through like a sourcing agent. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about pricing, but I will show you kind of what it looks like here. Where's the picture? So here you can see it opens up. It's got these little wings that kind of clamp on, but they open up. You can put your pictures in there. But we're here in my ads manager. I haven't done anything here. I will still blur some stuff out because I kind of want to use this at some point. But for now, it's just for demonstration purposes. Let's go up here and do create. And let me make this comment here. What you definitely want to do is you want to go to conversions and you want to do a purchase conversion, right? What I would say, depending on your budget, and this is discretionary, you don't have to do this, but I would consider doing a PPE campaign to run along all these ad campaigns, these conversion purchase campaigns that we're going to do. And the reason I do that, and I'm not going to walk through a PPE campaign, maybe in a future video. The reason I do that is because a PPE campaign is going to create a lot of engagement, right? It's in the name. You're going to get likes, you're going to get shares, you're going to get comments. And that's really just going to add it to the social proof. So there's nothing that brings a crowd like a crowd. You want to make it look like people want this product, and the best way to do that is the PPE campaigns. You know, you're paying for what you get for. You're paying for what you get. These people are going to gauge their content. These people are hopefully going to purchase. These people probably aren't going to do a lot of liking and commenting and sharing. They might, but not like the engagement people are going to. That's just a consideration. If you got a low budget, you don't have to do it. I've seen people have success without doing the PPE, but it just helps convince these people that it's worth their time. Let's get into it. Conversions. What I do is I do per for purchase, and I say cold because we're doing cold targeting. And I'm actually going to copy that. We're not going to worry about CBO campaigns. We'll do that in a different video. We'll go up here. I always just put this back in here. And I'm going to have to blur this out, but you're going to want to go, because I think I have some. I think I did try something in here now that I'm thinking about it. But you're going to want to go to purchase. So I'll unblur this in a minute. But so now I have it set up in purchase. If you have it red here, like you haven't gotten a purchase, that is okay. Anytime that I've started, it starts as red. You haven't created that data yet. That's not going to affect you. So put that purchase in there. That is absolutely important. There's going to be people out there that say you shouldn't. I've only had success with this, so I don't know what those people are talking about, to be honest with you. And I want to give you the right information. So do purchase. Scrolling down, here's another important piece. It automatically selects everyone in this location. Change it to people who live in this location. People visit from out of what you're going to be targeting. They visit to different countries. They might hop on the Wi-Fi at the local Starbucks. Always do people who live in this location. I've had the best success with that. I'm going to exit this out. When I'm starting to test something and I don't know where it's going to sell, and it's important to never make assumptions on things, I try to keep it broad, see what the data does, and then narrow it down in favor of that data. So for you, I think I've actually already got this in here, but let's do this. So you're going to want to target e-packet countries. You've probably heard people talk about that. Definitely go with e-packet countries. That's the way to go. If you don't know e-packet countries, you can go to a site like this, and we're going to have a nice little pop-up. Awesome. I've already clearly went through and did this, but you go to just type in e-packet countries in Google. Wrong thing. And then since I'm doing a lot of different ones at the same time, you can do this add locations in bulk. Just select countries and paste that in there, and then match locations. And I've already created this as a saved list, but if you haven't, I would highly suggest doing that and just labeling it e-packet countries, and you basically just check this box, and then when you add it, it'll have a pop-up and say if you want to name it. Definitely do that, because you're gonna be able to just make it, you're gonna save yourself some time. And I can show you that. So you go to browse, save location. So I've already got it saved, so I'd basically just go like that. Populates all that really quickly. I don't have to go anywhere, and we're moving along. Since this is a necklace, and I know it's 2019, so I don't want to offend anybody, but I still think only women are going to be the ones that would be likely to purchase it. Always use your best judgment. Think about the intended audience, but don't get so narrowed that you kind of screw yourself over. In this case, obviously, women are going to be the only ones that probably get that necklace. Men might buy it for their woman, but I don't really want to go down that route. You might test it out later. Since you're on a low budget, definitely go to women. And I don't think anyone... I would probably go up to 35, to be honest with you. But for testing's sake, I would start as low as possible and narrow down, look at your data. And I'm going to have a video in the future about breaking down your data and trying to figure out what's working and what's not, and then cutting out the stuff that is not working. Always, always, always do English for that. And for this, let's keep it, I'm going to keep it broad just for the first one, and then we'll get specific. You could easily just do necklace. Let's not make it super sophisticated right now. We'll do that with some of the other ad sets, but just to keep it simple, we'll do necklace. And this is something I always do, and I highly suggest. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, and I don't know why. I'm going to give you guys all the secrets. You want to exclude people interested in AliExpress, exclude people interested in Alibaba, which is another wholesale site, and WooCommerce. I'm doing that because I don't want to show my ads to people that are, drop shipping, and anyone that's interested in these things are potentially drop shipping. That way, you're not showing it to junk people, and you're not also showing it to people that could potentially steal your ad, steal your product, and run off with it and try to take a bit of the pie. So always make sure to do that. That's something that I don't see a lot of people talking about. This expand detailed targeting. This is definitely going to be checked off, and I don't mess with it. They're trying to waste my money, and I don't want you to waste your money. So check that off. We'll go down here. We'll edit placements. And my strategy for CBOs and for PPEs are going to be different. If I'm running a PPE, I'm going to keep it on automatic placements. If I'm running a CBO, I'm going to keep it on automatic placements. For detailed targeting, for cold targeting, I want to exclude things that I don't think work, at least especially when you've got a budget that is low. You want to take out all of this. We just want the Instagram feed, which is checked, and the Facebook feed. So Facebook, Instagram, Those are the only two things that I suggest doing at this point in time. That might change in the future if the algorithm changes, but those are the two best that work for me. Now, here's the point you've been waiting for, is in terms of budget. What I will say is that Facebook is an auction-based platform for advertising, so typically the people that have the higher budgets are usually winning the auction and they're getting it shown to more people. But this is a low budget video, but I will make that point. So as this is working for you and you're getting higher budgets, I don't want you to continue using a low budget strategy, because you're going to get better results at the higher spend. Within reason, use that to what it is, but you definitely want to keep it low, because that's why you watch the video. What I would suggest is the lowest you're going to go is $3. I don't think you can get away with doing $1 a day ad spend. I just don't think you're gonna win anything. So I would say $3 the lowest. My suggestions are going to be $3, $5, or $8. And I know that sounds weird, but I've had the best results with those ad spends. Okay, here we are. We've got our campaign, purchase_cold. So that's in the campaign tab. Let's move to the ad sets tab, and what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. And what I would suggest is I would duplicate it so that you have 10 ad sets running, which would mean that you're spending, in this case, you're spending $30 a day. That might be too much for you. 5 is going to be plenty. I say 10 is that's my rule. That's what I like to do. I like to do 10 because I get a lot of data with a lot of different testing in terms of targeting. And I would recommend that if you've got the budget, I would definitely do 10 at the minimum. In this case, let's say you don't have that much money to be spending. Let's try doing, we'll say 5. So let's duplicate this. Since you already have one, we only need to do it 4 times, so 4 copies, which will lead us to 5. Duplicate that. So that all populates, and then we'll go down here. Actually, let's change. In this case, I don't want to change this because we did necklace as just a simple one. So that one's necklace. Going down here, what I would say, when you think about this, you think about a necklace, you think about something that people are going to put pictures in. Typically, that's going to be family. That's going to be pictures of kids or grandkids. So let's do something a little more specific. Let's actually see what they did. Let's do parents, and you're going to see a lot of different parents. I would think, preschoolers, early age children, preteens, teenagers. I probably wouldn't do it adult children. I think that's just, they're too old. But I think anywhere between, this 3 to 12, or maybe jumping into the teenagers would be good. So let's just do the preschoolers. So these are parents with, preschoolers 3 to 5. Let's copy this. Always make sure you're labeling things properly because you want to keep it straight. But so that's one. Let's go into another one. Scroll down. Another thing is anniversaries. I think this is really good for anniversaries. It could be a good anniversary present. And beware that you're working with shipping times that are a little bit longer than usual. Typically, they're going to be 2 to 4 weeks. So if someone sees your ad, they're expecting it. If they're saying, so let's say for instance, you do anniversary within 30 days. Well, you might have someone that has an anniversary in 7 days. And people have that mindset of this Amazon effect where you got 2-day shipping, so they might assume that you've got 2 days. Well, it turns out it's not going to come for a full month. That's going to piss them off. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to get returns. You're just going to get angry customers, and I don't want you to have that. So beware of that. I probably wouldn't do this anniversary within 30 days. I'd probably do 31 to 60 days. Just because I think 61 and 90 days is too long. People aren't thinking about it. 31 to 60 is still within that range. copy that. We'll bring that up here. And we'll move on. But the other thing you could do, and I won't do it for this one because I want to show you a couple other interests. You could do birthdays. Beware of that. That is a nice interest that I use from time to time. But, birthdays is another great one. Anniversaries, birthdays, parents. Let's go down. Let's see if we can get another just general one. And what I think I would do here is I'd probably just do something like, I saw that antique looking one, and I think a lot of these people or potential buyers are going to be older, like more or less someone that is in like their 60s, like grandparents, and they're going to be following stuff like this antique type interest. So we'll plug that in. And we need one more. You might even do something like, grandparents. Let's see what comes up if I type in grandparents. Grandparents. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. So I said family. I think family, because people that are family oriented are going to be more open to this because that's what they care about. They've got kids, they've got a husband they love, or they got a wife they love. They're all about that family. One thing I will note that I don't believe I did say is talking about the population. I would highly suggest finding populations that are between no less than 1 million and all the way up to 10 or 20 million. Typically that's where I hover in. You could do it more. Like you could, really broad audiences sometimes work. But the reason you want it to be broad is because when you start scaling a product or an ad set, you're going to run into some overlap if you do have small audiences. So you want to keep it larger because then you just have more room to play with. You can reach new people within that audience, and you're not going to get ad fatigue. So in this case, you've got family, which is 130 million. So that's quite big. If you want to make it more targeted and you want to do something that's beneficial to narrow down, you could add narrow audience, and you might type in engaged shoppers. I don't do a lot of this, but typically I'm not running with audiences that big, but you could. So you narrow it down by 8 engaged shoppers, and that would do just fine. So that's just kind of a gist of it. Typically, you don't want to make it over complicated in the beginning. I usually keep it simple like that, and I just kind of see how it plays out, see how people are reacting to the ads. We will publish these, and I'll be back in just 1 second. So let's get into it's just a couple metrics to be paying attention to. I'm going to do a more in-depth video for that, but here's the things you want to be paying attention to. And let's keep it simple. In the beginning, what you want to look for is 2 things. 1 is your CPMs, and 2 is your cost per click. Your CPMs are just going to be telling you how much people you're reaching, and your CPCs, your cost per click, is going to be telling you how effective your ad is in terms of the creative or the matchup with the audience that you put out. So those are the 2 things that I do just to keep it simple. And I let my ads run for 2 to 3 days. Okay? I see people on here saying 1 day. I see people on here saying if it's 4 hours and you're not getting these results, to cut it. I don't think you want to do that. I say 2 to 3 because what happens is your ad sets are still optimizing. Facebook is trying to figure out who the best person for this is, and they're watching the data as it comes in real time and adjusting and doing, they're balancing it out and trying to figure out, because at the end of the day, they want people to have a good experience with you. So if you're showing ads to the wrong person, they're going to stop doing that and they're going to start sending it to the right people. So let it run for 2 to 3 days. What you want to pay attention to over those 2 to 3 days, and definitely cut it if it's getting ridiculous. Like if your CPMs are blown up, like if you have like 100 for your CPM, do not let it run for 2 to 3 days. But also don't cut it in like a half hour if that's happening, because they could come down a lot. So just let it run for a little bit. But what you want to pay attention to is you want to look for anything for CPM wise. You want to look for anything that's below 15. and you want to look at your cost per click that's below $1. So after 2 to 3 days, you want to look at your ROAS, so your return on ad spend. And that's another thing that I would highly pay attention to. Those are the 3 things that I generally pay attention to. I've got a lot more things going on, but those are the 3 main things. If your ROAS after 2 to 3 days, so you're spending $3 a day on each ad set, what you want to do is after 2 to 3 days, if you've got a ROAS, and it depends on your break-even ROAS, but a general rule is if it's like a 2.5 or even a 2 ROAS or above, I would duplicate it and then increase your budget by 2x. If you've got a $3 ad budget running, I would duplicate it and make that ad budget $6 and let it run. And after 2 days or 2 to 3 days, if it's happening again, if it maintains that ROAS, duplicate it again, increase or double it again. So you go from 3 to 6 and then from 6 to 12, and you keep doing that until your ROAS begins to drop. And that's a really important part. It does at some point, it starts to cut back a little bit because you start to have overlap and you're starting to reach the same people. But that's the general rule, and you want to keep it there. If you've got something that is at the break-even point, or it's below break-even after 2 to 3 days, definitely kill it. It's not coming back. Don't hold on to it. Don't get emotional. Just cut it and try some different targeting. If you've got other things that are working, but if you've got nothing that's working for a while, start to consider either doing a new ad creative or new product. Typically, it's going to be the product. In my case, it's usually always the product. But yeah, definitely pay attention to it. So kill those things that are below your break even. And your break even, just to give you just a quick estimate for that, it's going to be the price of your product divided by the price of your product minus what it costs you. So the cost of the goods sold, and that's going to be your break even. And there it is. It is that easy. It is that easy. And this is the exact strategy that I've been using for a very long time until I was able to make some money to start to use bigger budgets. And there's a different strategy for that, and I'm going to go into that in a different video. I wanted to keep it simple because I know a lot of people have questions about this. Pay attention to the signs. If it's not working, if it's not fitting into those metrics, just drop it. It might be the product, it might be the marketing. I'll have future videos on what that looks like to make sure that you got that all suited up and ready to go. But with that being said, give me a subscribe. I am going to be giving away some free potential winning products in future videos. Every video going ahead of time. Give me a like, give me a comment, tell me what you're struggling with. And with that being said, until next time, peace.